Hey everyone, it's Martin.
And Bianca.
Welcome back to our second cooking video. Today we're going to be making some fajitas with some red Spanish rice, some refried beans, and we picked up these freshly made tortillas from this Mexican food store down the street. They make these up daily, so they were made this morning. And we also picked up this salsa from the same store that was also, it's also fresh, it was made today. And here we have laid out our ingredients. You want to show them what we're going to use?
Yeah, so we're going to make some refried beans. We're going to use mushrooms as our meat, right?
Yeah.
And then we have our bell peppers. We got red and green. We have some avocado, a lime, and some tomato.
So Bianca's not liking bell pepper right now or onion, so the fajitas are pretty much going to be for me.
Yeah.
But she is going to have some of the mushroom steak, some of the rice, of course, some tacos with tortillas, beans, salsa. So the only thing she won't be eating is the bell peppers and the onion. But we're going to go ahead and get started on this. First, I'm going to go make a drink, and then we'll start cooking. Okay, so before we get started with cooking, I'm going to make a quick Margarita Slushie type drink. I've got some ice in the Vitamix already, and I'm gonna add some Casamigos tequila. This is the reposado. So I'm using this Clutch Coffee shot glass. It's the only shot glass that I have. I'm gonna go ahead and put, let's do 2 shots in there. And then I'm gonna add some of this strawberry lemonade. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it all besides the shots. So we'll just use all of the lemonade that's left. And now we're just gonna blend it. Okay, the ice stopped crunching, so I think it's all blended up. It didn't get as slushy as I thought it would. It's still kind of actually really liquidy, but that's fine. All right, so I sprinkled some sea salt on this napkin, wet the rim a little bit. Just trying to get some sea salt onto the cup. It's good enough. And now we're just gonna pour it in. Okay, so we're gonna get started with the rice. So we're gonna use a cup of this jasmine white rice and one of these organic tomato sauce cans to make the red Spanish rice. Basically, I'm just gonna saute the rice in a little bit of oil until it gets a little toasty. Then I'll add the tomato sauce with a little bit of salt, and we'll let it, as well as 2 cups of water, and then we'll let it boil and then simmer until it's ready. And while I do that, we're gonna get started on chopping up the veggies as well. All right, so we're just gonna add some oil to the pan. The pan's already hot, so the oil is ready to go. Gonna do a cup of rice. I'm not gonna rinse it because I don't want it to be wet. I want it to get nice and toasty. And gonna move it around in there. Let it get a little hot, then we'll stir it up a little bit and add the tomato sauce. Alright, so the rice is getting hot. Just gonna keep stirring it. Make sure it doesn't get stuck into clumps. And make sure it doesn't burn. You just want it to be a little toasty, nothing too burnt. Alright, so the rice is looking pretty toasty. Just gonna add a little bit of onion. Alright, so we're gonna take the mushroom, cut them into, I don't know, what would it be, like little vertical slices? So here's what it looks like. It's a mushroom. So here's what the slice of mushroom looks like. It's just it's pretty thin, but still not too thin, just to the point where it'll still give you some pretty good thick, meaty texture. So I just brought the rice down to a simmer. It was boiling, so we're now simmering it. We're gonna go ahead and add some oil to this pot. Let that heat up a little bit so we can add the onion. It actually feels really hot already, so let's go ahead and add it. We don't want them to get too brown. We just want them to be a little translucent. So the onions are translucent now. We're gonna add the beans. All right, so we're just gonna season the beans with a little salt, some cumin, sprinkle of black pepper, and some chili powder. And they're starting to kind of bubble. As soon as they're boiling a little more, we'll go ahead and start mashing them. Alright, so just finished mashing the beans. Here's the consistency. I like them to not be too solid. Still a little runny. Just like that. Let's give them a try. That's perfect. So I'm gonna saute the bell peppers, tomato, onion in this pan first, and then we'll make the mushrooms on the skillet. And once the mushrooms are done, we'll add the fajitas to the skillet with the mushroom and let them get a little bit of a char, and then they'll be ready. All right, so we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil. I usually like using a neutral oil for fajitas, but olive oil is everything that we have right now, so we'll go ahead and use that. So just gonna let the oil heat up a little bit. Seems like it's there. And I'm gonna add the onion first. And let it get just a little bit translucent, and then we'll add everything else in, because the bell peppers and the tomato are gonna cook really fast. All right, so now we're gonna add the bell pepper and the tomatoes. We're gonna put some salt, some pepper, some chili powder, of course some paprika, and since Bianca's not going to be having any of this, you sure you don't want to before I add garlic? Some garlic. And that's about it. So we don't want it to cook too much. It does have quite a bit of oil, but it's still gonna go on the skillet and then pretty much finish cooking there. So the little bit of extra oil that it has, it's gonna be used to cook in the skillet. Alright, so I'm heating up the skillet now. And the skillet, when it's really hot, tosses a lot of oil. So it's time to throw on my apron. So I'm heating up the skillet, gonna put some olive oil on there, put the mushrooms on there, and grill them. And then once the mushrooms are done, we'll add in the fajitas, veggies. And we'll put these on the bottom, and then we'll put the mushroom on top, and we'll be ready to eat. The rice is almost done too, so we're almost ready to go.
Okay, so now that the skillet is hot, we're gonna add our mushrooms on it. I'm just gonna lay them down like this. And we're gonna let them get roasted on each side. I'm just gonna sprinkle them with a little bit of salt and pepper. Okay, so you don't want to leave them on here for too long. Probably like a minute on each side and they'll be fine.
Alright, so the mushroom is done. This is our steak mushroom. And now I'm gonna take the veggies, throw them into the skillet. And we're just gonna let them char up a little bit. Alright, so the veggies are done on the skillet. Now I'm just gonna add some of the steak on top. I'm not gonna add it all because Bianca doesn't want it to touch the garlic. Just gonna add a few pieces here. Alright, and that's it guys. That is mushroom steak fajitas. Alright, so the fajitas are done, the rice is done, the beans are done, we've got the tortilla ready. We're gonna start plating the food. So we're gonna start with the rice. Is that good for you?
Yeah.
So some rice for Bianca. Some rice for me. Do a little more rice. Some beans for Bianca. Is that good or you want a little more?
More.
Like that?
Yes.
Bianca's steak. How many pieces do you want?
One more.
One more?
Two more.
Two more?
Thank you.
Three more. And now we're gonna do mine. So, just look at these fajitas. They came out so good. Just throw this whole thing on there, might as well.
Okay, so we just got done plating our food and it looks so delicious.
Yeah, it looks really good. Take a look at that.
Yeah.
So we're all done here. Fajitas are done. We're gonna sit down and enjoy this food. Thank you guys again so much for watching. We really appreciate you guys supporting our channel right now in this time of infancy. We're gonna sit down and enjoy this food. If you did enjoy the video, please help us out by liking and subscribing if you want to be up to date with all of our new videos. And yeah, we're gonna go eat. So have a good day, guys. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.